All right, hello, happy Monday to you. So let's get started. It's been a while. My kids were home, Christmas break, back at it again today, back with yoga as well. So on Thursdays, my live stream is Mondays and Thursdays. My live stream is going to be not at 12 o'clock and might be earlier during the week as well. So I probably won't necessarily have the exact noon schedule, but I'm happy that you guys are here today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like my live streams, please hit the like, subscribe. If you want to join me every morning for the creation of my watch list, please sign up as a member. We do over a lot of good stuff, and right now, some amazing trades that did happen today. So let's look at it. I really love, hey Troy, happy Monday, happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all, right? Amazing things to come in this new year. This week so far, we've seen, hey, we have a Speaker of the House. Looks like the market liked that, right? We moved up off of that information. However, we are testing this trend line over here. Let me just eliminate this right here. So I have on the 24-hour chart this downward trend line, which we are testing today. Are we going to hold above it? This is the point of control right here, showing us where the most volume has been traded since 9:30. Yep, that is around 393.12. So are we going to see this pull back down? I also really enjoy using the 3-day chart, and we are just testing the 200 exponential average on the 3-day chart, 392.35. So looking to see if we can hold that. I find that 200 does tend to be pretty strong support and resistance. So it was support for the past couple of days back here. Now, is this going to set up as resistance and a tougher level? We do have a point of control over here on the 3-day at 395.13, really above there. Come back down, test up above 395.13. I would be more of a bull on the market. Now, we do have a lot of the majors that are moving today. So let's look at the indexes first off. Let's go here. No, that's not what I wanted to hit. Let's go to my list over here. So the Q's up above 271. Beautiful trade up there. Let's throw this on. Let's see. Where's our point of control? Yep, right up here at 274.75-ish. If we close below that, good chance we will be heading down. All right, let's look at the Russell. Russell just popped up above that 179 up to 180. That's pretty strong resistance. We're testing that trend line as well for the Russell. And then the Dow. Ooh, look what happened. We're starting to come back down. Look at how we have a point of control over here roughly at 338. Now, we did go above that today, but are we going to hold above 338? Is this going to be a bigger move to the downside where they sold up here, they bought some, and now they're going to sell more? We shall see. When we look at what we have on the schedule for this week, Mondays tend to be positioning days for the week ahead. We also have some interesting covers. Look, the red exit wave. This is the red wave of the Republicans, red COVID wave, red wave in the market. Exit wave, are we exiting out of COVID? Are we going to exit out of the market? What is going to happen? Chaos Congress and its costs. That sounds like it's going to cost things, right? And when we look at Barron's, tax bill comes due. Uh-oh, who's paying the price? The consumers, investors, and employees are stuck paying the bill. Is it going to drop down on us? Are we going to see that Monday was a pop into the Qs just for them to sell? They always have to create a buying momentum, so somebody's gonna buy the shares that the big guys are selling, right? Big money runs the market. If they want to sell, somebody has to be on the other side. I see we've got some other people here watching today. Thank you for joining me. Where are you tuning in from? Troy is a longtime subscriber. All right, let's check out Tesla, right? Tesla, all of the majors were rocking today. Now Tesla on the 3-day chart is hitting the 4 exponential moving average. Looks amazing, right? On the 24, hour, yeah, it looks awesome. Now we see, hey, wait a second, we're testing that, and we're testing a whole bunch of dark pool prints. Let me see if we have any new ones today for Tesla. Oh yeah, nah, just opening. Nothing really real time. So we shall see. Are we going to break out and move up above? What do you think, Troy? You think we're going to move up or not? We shall see, right? We're above all of these right now. Where are we going to close? Is it simply that we are going to test over here and they're going to sell more and we're going to fold back over? Nice bullish engulfing on the 3-day, all right? And I found that multiples of 3 tend to work really well. 3-day, 33 exponential moving average. 33-day. Well, 33-day, it looks pretty positive, right? Maybe we're going to bounce up here to 172 from where we are. Would be interesting, right? All right, let's look at BABA. Let's put this back to a 15-minute over here. I think we're going to go down for a bit on Tesla. All right, we'll see. Let's check out BABA. So BABA had amazing gap up. Hey, Abe. I know. You know, kids were home. It's hard to get it done with the kids here. They're all, mommy, 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 mommy. But we made some great memories. Yes. So BABA loves to fill the gaps, right? Came down, boom, filled the gap. Oh yeah, bounced back up, right? BABA, FXI, PDD, Billy as well is another one. JD is part of FXI. So all of the Chinese stocks are really moving today. So nice move down and back up if you caught that. And look at where it sold off again, right at that 112 level. You guys need to come and join me in the morning when I build this, right? Live. All right, let's check out Apple. So Apple's had some bigger moves as well. Are we going to stay and close above this point of control, 132.30? Well, we're getting close to testing that. We shall see. We did have some bigger prints on Friday. We are up above it. Over last week, we are up off of the volume from last week. However, we do have some bigger selling pressure that happened up here. So more selling than I've seen in terms of buying. And overall, the long-term point of control is still way up here. So still below 149, that's the biggest volume for selling. Haven't seen really super massive volume coming in for buying as of yet, right? Doesn't mean that it's not coming, but we're seeing that the volume is dropping. Price went up, ooh, it's dropping down. So, ooh, let's check this out too. Hey, Asif, Happy New Year. All right, let's look at Apple. Did you know you can do this too? Apple short volume. All right, goes to a daily chart, right? But we had super high short volume on the 3rd. Then it dropped down on the 4th, 5th, 6th. I wonder where we're going to end up tonight. Check it at 8 o'clock. All right, check it at 8 o'clock and see. So let's put this back to 24 and this to 15. But they do have the short volume feed from FINRA on TradingView. All right, let's check out Amazon. Amazon a pop again. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at how we hit that 33 exponential moving average on Amazon. What happened? What happened? Sold off. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. So let's go see points of control here. Let's do it from this last touch. The last touch. Okay. This was our point of control, and down here at 85.18. Excuse me, 85.15, roughly 85.20-ish. So let's see, are we going to stay up above? Are we going to stay up above 88? If we close below 88 today, there's a good chance that this could pop up here and we will see a bigger rollover again, right? Let's look at this big picture. This 33, oh, test, yep, test, yep, test. Okay, maybe if we are able to break above this, it would look good, right? Let's look at Microsoft. So Microsoft has been fairly weak. We are testing a trend line stuck. Bigger, we had a bounce here. and checking out, are we going to be able to break this 232 resistance area right here? Really extended away from that 33. It does tend to come back to it like a little magnet, right? So maybe we're going to see this pull up here. That could easily affect the rest of the market, right? Because it's such a major player in the indexes. Hello to everyone that is joining us. Hit the like button if you like what you are seeing. All right, so HKD, this was actually an IPO last year. AMTD Digital. So lower float, 23.3 million. Did you know that as long as it has more than 8 million, it is an optionable stock? So lower risk with options, right? For shorting low float. This is my opinion. Because if it goes against you, your max loss is the cost of the option. If you buy a put, right? That's your max loss. If it goes down, you should theoretically make some money. Ah, thanks. Yeah, I really respected it, huh? All right, let's check out Billy as well. So when I have my list, I'm creating this means, hey, this is the potential short momentum from the day. Is it going to continue? Maybe, maybe not, which is why I give you both. So you can determine, hey, look, here we came up, it tested it, it bounced, it broke down. Came back up, and then it broke down again. So we have a little bit of a wedge forming right here on Billy on the 15-minute chart. But look at that, it's really not breaking above 27.20. So for now, are we going to see this break down further from here and close this gap from the 3rd of January? Maybe come down to the 200 exponential around 25.20. We're gonna have to see where we close, right? But this is pretty bearish engulfing. We've got 3 days right now, bearish engulfing. So let's see if we close below 27. That's gonna be a price point that if we close below, likely a gap fill down here to 25.20 in my opinion. All right, let's look at Lulu. So Lulu, ooh, not so pretty earlier today, and not too much of a trade, but that's why I have these levels, right? You want to wait until it pops up. Okay, look, check out the volume. We had more volume come up when it tested it, and then it broke out. Now it came back, and it's using 300 as support. But look at how that first test really happened at 301. I don't want people to get sucked in and then get burned right away, right? So it tested 300, then it broke through 300, and then bounced up to 305. And I think if you listen to it from this morning, I said, hey, I think we're going to see 305 is going to be that first target, and then potentially a test back down again. All right, let's look at PayPal. All right, PayPal has had a nice resurgence today. We are breaking out of this downward trend right here, and we have these selling wicks to watch. So are we going to close below 77.30? Right now, this 78.20 area is pretty strong resistance. Popped up, sold off, popped up, sold off, popped up, sold off, right? We saw, hey, look, we had a crazy wick over here. What was that from? Now we've come and we've tested that. Are we going to continue down further? And we are using that 33 as a support, right? It bounced on Friday, bigger volume, and then it moved up. So are we going to close above 78 or below 77? If we close back below this trend line here, then tomorrow is truly our apex decision on the wedge. Where are we going to go from here? But it was a nice consolidation wedge zone right here for a nice move and breakout today. All right, last one, C Limited. So C Limited, bigger volume right here, nice little reversal pattern, and sure enough, we sold off down below. That was a beautiful trade there. I was busy teaching today, and that's a reminder. If you guys want to learn about trading around the dark pools, you see these on here. You go, what's that, Jane? Dark pool activity. Teach at the training pit over at the dark pools every Monday. So come on over, check it out. It's awesome, thedarkpools.com. All right, and let's look at some cryptos as well, right? So let's go over here. I know everybody, we had the whole FTX debacle, all that good stuff. And now, oh my goodness, what's going on with crypto, right? I think the big thing to remember is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has big movement. It is the lower float of the crypto space. Where is our point of control now? It is below us, right? Obviously, if we pull it over here, it's probably going to jump up. Okay, so the first point is potentially 19,000. So if we're continuing to break out, we break about above that 1760, we could see a nice run, maybe up to the 161 exponential over here, right? And that's likely going to create an increase in all of the crypto space. I'm going to go back over here really quickly, right? We also have to keep in mind the dollar. The dollar is huge in relation to commodities. When the dollar drops, we tend to see the commodities rise. Silver is dropping today a little bit. Maybe they're going to be reloading on it. And check out that 33 exponential, how that is acting as resistance on the way up. All right, gold today, gold is continuing to move up. I will do a Basel. Yeah, I'll check it out. Basel 3 requirements ended December 31st, 2022. Basel 4 requirements are going into effect as of January 1st, 2023, which means they need to have more collateral on hand in the form of physical assets such as gold and silver. And so that's part of the reason why gold and silver have gone up so much. I'll get into that in another video though. So silver as well has had a bigger move up and then it pulled back. It's having a really hard time breaking the 2450 threshold. If we look at it on a weekly chart over here, we can see that it has had a very hard time breaking up above 2450. We have all of this resistance here. The people that sold there, maybe they're trying to sell and take their profit again. If we can break up above 26, really 2620, we're going to see this have really long legs. Maybe we're going to head back up to that 45 area, at least up to the 30s. But I definitely watch silver. We're also seeing that with the drop of the dollar, that oil is rising. Let's put it over here, right? Even though oil numbers were not that super amazing, we have Russia talking about limiting the total amount of oil that they're going to sell. And also in Ghana, they just, let's see over here, Ghana, oil, gold. Ghana plans to buy, nope, it was earlier, it's more recent, 11 days ago. Gold for oil, no value can be deduced except handing control of Ghana's mineral to politicians. So they're going to buy oil with gold. There we go. Goldfield sells 26,000 GFI ounces of gold to the Bank of Ghana because they're going to be using gold to buy oil, right? So for now, oil isn't going by the wayside, but people are starting to use gold to purchase it instead of the petrodollar, which is probably part of the reason why we are seeing the dollar drop, right? It's no longer being used primarily as that resource for purchasing commodities, right? Which is probably why we're seeing some of these other commodities move to the upside. Okay, let's go back over to crypto. Right here. All right, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Ethereum is moving up. Ethereum looks a bit stronger than Bitcoin itself. We've broken out up above. I'd watch it for a break above 1350 and see maybe it can make that nice $75 move up to the 1425 area. I'm still liking XRP. It's testing that 33 exponential over here, but we are holding this upward trend line. It's very shallow, but we are holding it. I'm going to get rid of this one and get rid of this one and get rid of this one. We don't need them. All right. And this one we can adjust over here. Right there. So we've actually just broken out of that trend line. Are we going to hold, right? That is a longer term trend line. Let's look at it on a weekly chart from the peak, right, of these right here. So actually, if I put it down on this one, look, it looks like last week we had bigger buying coming in right at this shallow support zone, and now we are moving up from there. All right, testing that, and we finally, seems like we've got a little bit of a rounded bottom right there. All right, you want to check out AMGN? If you guys have any other stocks you'd like to check out, put it in the chat. We will check it out. All right, so we're hitting that 33. It looks like it was super overextended here, Troy. Looks like it had a big extension to the upside. Let's see number of shares, 532. Let's see if we have any news on it. Illumina Nashville Biosciences enter agreement with Amgen for whole genome sequencing of 35,000 DNA samples 30 minutes ago. So it looks like maybe a test area of 269. If that fails, 269. Yeah, if that fails down to 285, 60. I can't talk today. 268.15, and then maybe down to 267.50 right there. But it really doesn't have big volume here. Look at where the big volume was. Whoop. Friday close. You think somebody knew something? Seems like somebody knew something. Yep. Maybe it's going to come all the way down here, 266.80. Goes below 266.80, I'd watch for 264.40. All right. All right. I'm going to wrap it up for today. If you guys have anything you'd like to see me review, I will do a little video on Basel requirements and what that is all about. Could really affect the gold and banks, gold market and banks as far as collateral. We are seeing that the real estate market is likely going to slow down. Seen some effects so far already in Canada, also in the US, that houses are dropping in value as interest rates are going up. So be prepared. This could be a recreation of 2008 again with these crazy interest rate spikes. We might see that if this new Congress as well does not raise the debt ceiling, that means that, hey, where's the funding going to happen for the US government? That's part of McCarthy's new plan to vote on raising the debt ceiling or not. If it's a no-go, we might see a nasty market coming up. So I'm going to see if I can find out when that agenda is happening, if they're planning on voting on it. I've never really been interested in the bills, but you know what? This could be one to check out. So thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. I'd love to see you every morning at 8:15 in the morning. Carpe Profit. Seize those profits. One trade at a time.